Hello and welcome to the Environment This Week series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be talking about topics which are important from General Studies paper 3, that is environment and ecology. So basically what we will be doing is we will be taking topics from the current affairs and then we will be delving deeper into the static portion of it, and in the end we will be summing up the episode with the practice questions related to those topics. So let us begin. And the topics which we have chosen for today's episode are importance for old animals to exist, why the old animals need to exist and why their survival is important for the new generation, Amazon Rainforest Project Cheetah, and the UN Environment Summit 2024. So what are the major UN summits which have failed in the year 2024 and then their importance and why they have failed. As we start, Drishti IAS Mukherjee Nagar classes has now been shifted to Noida and the admissions are open for English medium offline batches of IAS GS Foundation course covering both prelims and mains. If you have any query, give us a call at 87501 and if you're traveling by metro, then the nearest metro station is Noida Sector 15 and the new address is C171/2 Block A Sector 15 Noida. Let's begin. So the first topic is that why the existence of old animals is important. So why this was in news? Because a review published in Science. So a review has been published and it suggested that the worldwide loss of old individuals due to shrinking habitat, hunting, climate change and other human related or human caused disturbances can be particularly detrimental to long-lived species. So it talked about that in the forest also, in the animal species also, the existence of the old species is very, very important. Now, importance of elders in the animal kingdom. So why in the animal kingdom, the elder species and its existence is considered important? Because the older animals like the elephants, matriarchs and orca grandmothers, they play a vital role in guiding their families through life's challenges using their accumulated knowledge and experience. Like for example, it is the older species which protects the younger ones and then raise them till they become old or till they become independent and are able to lead their own life. So under the guidance of the older self or the old animal or the parent animal, it is the offsprings or the younger ones which develop themselves to be able to become independent on its own. Then role of older individuals. Older animals often stabilize social hierarchies or act as the repositories of critical survival information. So the survival information or how to survive in the forest is what a younger offspring learns from the parent offspring. So it is basically the teaching method. So the parent becomes a teacher for the younger offspring. Then they can help younger animals find food, avoid dangers and adapt to environmental changes. So how to hunt, how to look for food, how to survive in dangerous situations, how to survive in detrimental situations, how to bring off their own offsprings is what a younger one learns from the older ones. So it is basically, you can say that the law of the jungle is what the older parent or the older species teaches the younger ones. Then global study on aging in animals, a 2023 review highlights the significant contributions of older individuals across species, from knowledge transmission to coping with extreme weather and ensuring survival. So the survival skills, that how even if the food is not present, then how an younger self needs to survive and what they can do so that they do not be back as compared to the other species. Then threats to elders. The loss of older individuals due to habitat destruction. So these are few of the problems because of which the older generation in a species is losing their life, and the reasons are habitat destruction. The place where they are naturally staying, that place is no longer existing. Hunting, It means that for some reason or the other, like the elephants are hunted for its tusk, the tigers or the cheetahs are hunted for their skins, pangolins are hunted for its skin or fur. So these are the things for which the animals are hunted. Then climate change can disrupt species. Climate change, as the temperatures are rising, so the animals which are used to staying at temperatures which are very low, like for example Antarctic environment or Antarctic species, Arctic species, or the species which are staying at very high elevation. So these are the species which are suffering the most because of the climate change. They can disrupt the social structure with cascading negative effect on the population. Now this effect can be cascading because if one loss starts to happen and if this change is taking a toll on one individual species, then ultimately because of that species, the other species will also suffer. Then examples of elderly animals roles. First is the elephant. So the matriarchs help with survival strategies, including protection from predators and navigating social interactions. So we have already, we see that the animal group is, or the animal, you can say the elephant's herd is basically led by a female. So the female elephant leads the herd of the elephants, and then they are always moving in a group of around 10 to 15 individuals. And animals like to stay in a group. So these are the things which are taught by the older animals to the younger ones. Then orcas. So the older female assist with calf care and guide their families to feeding grounds, supporting the grandmother hypothesis. Now the grandmother hypothesis talks about that how important the parents or the grandparents are and what role does they play in the life of a younger individual or a child. That everything the child learns about the society, about how to get good values and how to stay in a society, the cooperation and everything is what a child learns from its parents. And that is why in the among the animals also the grandmother hypothesis is followed. Now coming on to the second part, and that is the Amazon rainforest. Now this was in news because the year 2024 was devastating for the Amazon rainforest with widespread wildfires, droughts, climate change. It has contributed to be one of the worst fire years since the year 2005. Now when we say fire years, it means the wildfires took place, and wildfires or forest fires at large are one of the basic reasons that how a small fire can take such a large area of the forest and can burn such a large area of the forest and cause an unlimited and unimaginable damage to the forest. So the first point is the impact of fires. So the fires worsened deforestation with suspicion that some were intentionally set to clear land for cattle ranching. Now what is happening is that already the world is suffering from the problem of deforestation. It means that the number of trees are decreasing, and above it, if the forest fire takes the life of a very large land area of the forest, then it becomes all the more difficult to keep pace with the deforestation process, and the reforestation process also takes a lot of time. So the speed with which the trees are going down cannot be compensated with the number of trees that are being planted. So in the end and overall scenario, the things will become difficult. Then Amazon's vital role. So covering 8 countries. So Amazon rainforest is basically comes under or covers around 8 countries and 1 territory, is critical for storing carbon dioxide. Now Amazon rainforest is considered to be one of the major component of the carbon sequestration and the carbon sink apart from the oceans. Storing carbon dioxide, containing about 20% of the world's fresh water and home to an immense biodiversity, including more than 16,000 known tree species. So the flora and the fauna is very much present in quantity in the Amazon rainforest, and you can say that Amazon rainforest is the lungs of the earth. Now about the Amazon rainforest. So they are the large tropical rainforests occupying the drainage basin of the Amazon river, and they are spread across 8 countries. So if you will look at this map, this is the map of the South American continent, and if you will look at this area, this is the area of Amazon basin. So countries like Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador. So these are the countries in which the Amazon rainforest is spread, and it covers an area of more than 6 lakh square kilometers, and tropical forests has a closed canopy forest growing within 28 degrees north or south of the equator. Closed canopy forest means that they are so densely populated with tree species, and the tree species are very close to each other, and the canopy is also very close to each other. They are very wet places. They receive more than 200 centimeter rainfall per year, either seasonally or throughout the year. So it means throughout the year means continuously the rain takes place. Seasonally means at some point of time the rain is taking place, while the other season the rain does not take place. So it receives more than 200 centimeter of rainfall. Now temperatures are uniformly high, that is between 20 degrees Celsius to around 35 degrees Celsius, and it comprises around 40% of Brazil's total area. So the country Brazil is one of the biggest countries with regard to the land area or the land size, and out of that complete area, 40% of the area is what is covered by the Amazon rainforest, and it is bounded by the Guiana Highlands to the north, Andes Mountain to the west, Brazilian Central Plateau to the south, and the Atlantic Ocean to the east. Then comes the third topic, and that is the Project Cheetah. Now, why the Project Cheetah was in news? Because the fencing. So, under the Kuno National Park, where the cheetahs are present, so it has been said that if the fencing will be done in the Kuno National Park, so can the fencing increase the success percentage for the Project Cheetah? Now this brings cheetah to the news, and if we talk about cheetah, then during the time of 1950s, cheetah was present in India, but after that they become extinct, and now again they have been reintroduced in the country, and they came in one of the national parks of Madhya Pradesh, that is the Kuno National Park. So let us first of all talk about the cheetah. So the common name is cheetah. There are 2 species, that is the African cheetah, which is found in the African continent, and then there is an Asian cheetah which is found in Asia. Basically they are found in Iran. Earlier they were present in India, then they became extinct, and now again reintroduction has been done. So reintroduction of cheetah to India. So the action plan for introduction of cheetah in India, it was released by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change at the 90th meeting of the NTCA, that is the National Tiger Conservation Authority, and this happened in the year 2022. Then this plan was first proposed in the year of 2009, and then in the year 2022, 8 cheetahs came to India from Namibia. Namibia is a country which is present in the African continent. It is present in the South African continent, and the cheetah population is high in Namibia. So the first 8 cheetahs came from Namibia to India, and the 8 cheetahs have been relocated to the Kuno Palpur National Park, which is present in the Madhya Pradesh. It is important to remember about the name of the national park. Then the relocation of cheetahs to India from Namibia is the world's first intercontinental large wild carnivore translocation project. So this was the first translocation project of wild cat. Intercontinental, it means from one continent to another continent, from Africa to India. Then there are 2 different species of cheetahs, that is African cheetah and Asian cheetah. So if you will, this image is of African cheetah and this image is of Asian cheetah. So African cheetah is slightly brownish in color. They have a golden skin, and they are thicker than the Asiatic cheetahs. The the spots and the lines on the faces are more prominent and they are found all across the African continent, and the IUCN status is vulnerable. While if we talk about the Asian cheetah, then they are slightly smaller as compared to the African cheetah. Then they are pale, they have pale yellowish skin and they have more fur under their body. Then they are found only in Iran, and now the reintroduction has been done in India. And the IUCN status of the Asiatic cheetah is the critically endangered. Now the next topic is the UN Environment Summit 2024. So the United Nations Environment Summit in the year 2024, there were many summits and 4 of the key summits that failed to get results, or you can say if they were not failed, then they also did not achieve the desired result. So the United Nations effort to address critical environmental challenges hit many roadblocks in the year 2024, and 4 of the key summits which failed to generate results or which were not so successful in generating the results were Colombia UN meeting on biodiversity, Azerbaijan meeting on climate change, Saudi Arabia on land degradation, and South Korea on UN plastics. So they did not succeed in coming out with the desired outcome. So let's talk about the aim of these 4 meetings were to align with global goals, ensure equitable accountability, especially with regard to the developed countries, accountability to the developing countries, and mobilize adequate financing, but yielded no or limited progress. Finance was one of the major reasons why the many UN environmental treaties did not work in the year 2024. Then the lack of consensus was also a problem. The developed countries did not agree with the demands of the developing countries, and they did not agree, and they talked about their restraint in giving whatever the developing countries were asking. Then diverging national priorities. So the national priorities of the developed countries were much different to the national priorities of the developing countries. So a significant reason for the setback is the growing divide in the national interest between the developed and the developing countries. The developing nations demanded increased financial and technological support to address the problems which have been raised by the developed countries and their carbon emissions, while the developed countries on the other hand talked about their domestic constraint and showed their reluctance in giving additional benefits to the developing countries. Then challenges from global crisis. So the COVID-19 pandemic, geopolitical conflicts in the form of wars which are going on as of now, the Russia-Ukraine war or the Middle East war, and the economic instability has diverted resources and attention from environmental priorities. As the European Union is also facing severe natural gas and crude oil crisis, the Russia as of now is going through a war, and because of the wars in the Middle East, the supply chain has been disrupted very heavily. So because of these problems and the geopolitical instability, as of now the environmental aspect has taken a setback and the geopolitical aspect has come to the forefront. Then implications of the failed negotiations. So first of all, it is the delayed action. Critical measures to combat biodiversity loss, climate change, pollution, they are postponed, increasing the risk of irreversible tipping points. Like for example, the climate change crisis is becoming severe and severe with each passing day. The plastic pollution problem is also on a rise and is becoming even more severe. The problem of marine pollution is becoming even more severe. The problem of oil spills in the high seas are also becoming more severe. So if the solution has not reached as of now, then 1 more year it might take, and 1 more year can increase to the problems to many folds. Fragmented efforts. The failure of multilateral processes may lead to incoherent regional actions that lack global cooperation. So global cooperation is needed, but that global cooperation is missing between the developed nation and the developing nations. Then erosion of trust. and repeated failures in coming to a conclusion is also the erosion of trust between the developed nation and the developing nation, and the developed nation reluctance and constraint in giving the desired result to the developing countries is also showing that developing countries cannot trust the developed nation with regard to whatever their demands are. So these were the 4 topics that we discussed, and now in the end we will be solving MCQs with regard to these topics, and these MCQs, like always, you people will give me the answer in the comment section. And how are you supposed to do that? So type 1, 2, 3, 4 and give me the answer of every single question in the comment section. So the first question is, what is the primary role of older animals in the jungle? Producing more offspring, establishing dominance in the social hierarchy, protecting habitats from destruction, or providing guidance and survival related knowledge to the younger generation. Second question, what type of forest is the Amazon rainforest? Tropical rainforest, temperate forest, dry forest, or mixed forest? Third question, what is the IUCN status of the Asiatic cheetah? Endangered, critically endangered, vulnerable, or least concern? Now coming to the last question, what was the main focus of COP29 which took place in Baku, Azerbaijan? Climate finance, renewable energy policies, biodiversity conservation, or reduction of plastic pollution? So these are the 4 questions, 4 practice questions, and give me the answer in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.